Hello there, I'm Shayna Abraham, and I'm very excited to be discussing this week's case study, H.B. Fuller in Honduras, Street Children and Substance Abuse. In this video, I will be discussing the case study from Week 1, H.B. Fuller in Honduras, Street Children and Substance Abuse. So in this case study, the major concern was that children from Honduras were sniffing this particular drug called resistol. Now, this is a glue that is commonly sold there that causes irreversible brain damage. So the drastic increase in the amounts of children intaking this drug is insane because of the catastrophic effects that it has on the brain. So it's even come to the point that children under the age of 5 are becoming extremely addicted to this drug. Children that are addicted to this drug even have the nickname resistolorose. So this case study of H.B. Fuller and their toluene-containing glue is a perfect illustrative example of ethical relativism, and which is controlled by a company regarding the sales in South America, specifically in Guatemala and Honduras. So the principles of ethical relativism states that fixed morals can be rejected and that ethics can be adjusted according to different cultures, contexts, and situations. Therefore, H.B. Fuller already had suitable justifications for the sake of continuing profits in sales in resistol, and his representatives even claimed that they were trying to help the economies of these poor countries through the sales of resistol, making over $450,000 in the sales of this glue in just Central America alone. So, however, in this case, since ethical principles can be readjusted, the social responsibility issue is a clear factor of concern that is very much so present, especially judging the attitudes of addicted children in Honduras and Guatemala. So H.B. Fuller can be described as a full-blown ethical egoist. Ethical egoism presupposes maximizing only personal gains, disregarding the consequences that others may face regarding that. Ethical egoism presupposes maximizing pleasure and avoiding pain, and therefore increasing the sales of resistol for seeking personal gain and profit, and not taking into consideration the lives of the poor inhabitants of these country streets. So that's a perfect way to describe H.B. Fuller's approach when it comes to this. H.B. Fuller administration surely did express some concerns regarding the product misuse, although they were not proactively responsive to the alarming evidence, which was the main issue regarding their misconduct. So, in a way, H.B. Fuller can be said to not be responsible for the addiction of street children to glue sniffing, although it is undeniable that they did play a role and a part in contributing to this and allowing this to be exceeded. Also, moreover, H.B. Fuller's representatives were extremely obsessed with the profit gained by this competitive advantage. So, because of this, they did not even take part in a trade-off where their revenues were cut off in order to make a product that was less toxic. So in this case, they can be considered to be irresponsible, and they can be held accountable for aggravating the situation with glue sniffing and not generating it. Milton Friedman took the stance that companies should mainly focus on generating profits. They should pay adequate attention to societal ethics and societal rules, but their main motive should be to generate sales and revenues. Milton also believed in the free market system and also believed that companies should not listen to the unwitting puppets of the intellectual forces. He also believed that chief executives should mainly focus on gaining profit and to conform to the basic societal rules. Freeman actually has a different approach when it comes to this topic as a whole. Freeman believes that stakeholders should be held accountable when it comes to ethics and morality. Stakeholders can be defined as anyone that is involved within the business. So this includes customers, clients, employees, suppliers, subcontractors, etc. So as long as a stakeholder is identified as a person, ethics can automatically be applied. Freeman always manages his stakeholders because it allows for him to smoothly sail within his company, and it also allows him to have a better understanding of the stakeholder. He also says that it allows for him to have a better understanding of what the stakeholder is willing to bring to the table in terms of creating and building for the company. It also allows for them to have a better understanding of themselves and also a better understanding of the improvement of the company as a whole. So when comparing the perspectives of both Friedman and Freeman, they both provide different approaches to the same matter. Friedman's approach is more materialistic, whereas Freeman's approach is very particular on business ethics. So we oftentimes see companies that are oftentimes ridiculed for being overly selfish and only caring about generating profits and not as much about social responsibility. Friedman's approach is mainly based off of generating wealth and income, which is usually the model behind every businessman. But it's also important to take into consideration that there are set rules and regulations that bind companies to pay attention to the corporate social responsibilities. I don't think that Friedman's approach is completely true because I believe that if someone's sole purpose is just to make money, then they are also very likely to make a lot of unethical decisions that may harm society. As human beings, we are meant to help one another and the ecosystem. So we live in a very digitally advanced world where technology has taken over. You know, one word and it's already spread across the internet within seconds. So it's important for companies to abide by certain rules and follow social responsibilities, because if someone starts or if people start talking and they start posting online on social media, it's very easy for them to lose their reputation. And if a company wants to remain sustainable, it's important to also be reputable. We recently witnessed the greatest setback due to climate change. Smoke from factories, unhealthy and dangerous chemicals generated, and other catastrophic waste generated by industries are literally deteriorating planet Earth, or should I say Mother Earth. It's our moral duty to not only pay attention to making money, but also pay attention to our environment, to help each other out, to preserve our natural ecosystem, and also to have moral standards. Thank you so much.